Hello YouTube fam, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tina and I make videos on lifestyle, home, and DIY projects every single week. Today is a very exciting day because we are finally diving into a project that I've always wanted to do, and that is to create a board and batten accent wall. I've been dying to do these. I've been watching a lot of tutorials and now I'm ready to try my hand at it. And now that I own my home, I'm able to make these changes and make it exactly how I want it. Previously, when I lived in my LA apartment, I totally could not make any major changes like this, so this is a very exciting day for me today. And a big thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. I'll talk a little bit more about them later. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe below, and let me show you guys what wall we are working with. So here's what we're working with. If you guys watch my house tour, you guys will know that this area is basically my dining room slash dining nook. We don't really have a designated space for it, so my idea is to do a board and batten wall that will span across into the kitchen, and that way visually this is going to separate this area from the rest of the walls, which goes into my living room over there. For this video, I'm just going to be focusing on this main area, but eventually when we build out our new kitchen, it's going to span across and around this door over here. So I'll put a little mock-up of what this will look like in the long run, but for now we're just going to focus it up until this little edge right here. So this is the space we're working with, and now I'm gonna head to Home Depot because I literally have none of the supplies that I need for this project. I opted for 1x3 primed MDF boards to match the existing trim around my door. MDF is a little bit cheaper, but you could also use wood for this project. For these, you pay by the length, so it's helpful to know how much you need, plus a little extra to make room for error. So we ended up getting 9 of these, and we needed to cut them down to about 8 feet to fit in our car. This is definitely an upgrade from the 7 1/4 miter saw that I had before. I sold that to someone before I left LA, so this is going to be awesome for bigger projects. And I also got a brad nailer. Very excited, but also a little scared to use this. I watched a bunch of videos on how to use it, so fingers crossed that it works out well. Just like with any home DIY project, the most tedious but also the most important step is prepping. So I made sure to remove any screws and nails, and I used spackle to fill up any holes and smooth out any rough surfaces on the wall. Since I'll be painting directly onto the wall, this is super important, so I really took my time with this step. Alright, the wall is sanded and we are ready to go. I have all of my boards right here, and these are 3-inch MDF boards, and they're pre-primed, which will make our lives a lot easier when we have to paint later. My plan is to have this whole perimeter done, and it's basically going to hit up until this piece of trim, which will trick us into having the line go all the way up. I think that's gonna look the best, especially when I do the rest of it once the kitchen is actually redone. If you have a full wall, you wanna make sure that you do both sides and the top, and depending on the baseboards that you have, you can also redo those. I'm keeping them as they are, so that's the plan of attack. Let's get cutting. Oh my god, Dave, you're wearing the wrong shirt. We're not painting today. We set up the miter saw in the basement to minimize dust in our living area, so this project was a bit of a cardio workout running up and down the stairs. Okay, we're gonna do a dry fit to make sure that it is perfect. And yes, it is flush. And now I'm going to use liquid nails to glue it, and then we're going to nail it in, and then it'll be perfect. I'm scared. Okay, let's do this. That was really bad. Okay guys, we finally got the top board up. Honestly, it took a lot longer than we thought it would, just because we ran into some issues. And you'll see over here, I actually put a bunch of different nails because they were getting bent, and that's because the nails that I was using was too long, I think. So then we put in these shorter ones, and those worked perfectly for the rest. Yeah, it was definitely a trial and error. I feel like whenever I watch videos online, they make board and batten look so easy. But if you're a beginner like me and you're doing all of this for the first time, allow yourself some time to make mistakes, take a deep breath, and then try it again, because now it looks great and I feel so much more confident that we can get the rest of this done today. Then I'm moving on to the vertical boards, and since I wanted 4 sections, it just made my life a lot easier by just finding the center point of the wall and then doing the math to figure out the spacing in between each one. As I got more comfortable with the brad nailer, it was pretty easy to use, but do not be fooled. I watched many how-to videos before I even used it, and I still got it wrong at first. And as I do more updates to my house, I find that even these simple beginner projects still take a bit of a learning curve. So if you don't get it right away, know that it takes a lot of practice before even getting it right, and if I can do it, you can too. You might notice there's a little bit of an overhang at the bottom of each board since my baseboards have some detailing on them. So it's not flush here, and I know that I should have just replaced the baseboard for this project at the beginning, but eventually I will switch it out to match the board and batten. I just haven't decided if I want to rip all of my baseboards out and redo them completely to update it, because if that's the case, I want to do it all at one time. So I'm just gonna leave this as is for now. But if your baseboards are similar to mine with some detailing and trim work on them, you can minimize the appearance of the overhang by cutting each end at a 45-degree angle. Oh my god! This looks so good. Okay, this is the view from our living room, and look, this already looks so much better. It really highlights the ceilings. It makes it feel a lot taller. And if you did board and batten just vertical lines like this, I think that would look amazing as well. And it's looking a million times better in here, and I just love it so much. I want to take a quick pause to talk about today's video sponsor, Skillshare, who we all know and love. If you're not familiar with Skillshare, they are an online learning community filled with thousands of inspiring classes for creators like you and me. And Skillshare really allows you to explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. They have classes from business to photography to even graphic design. A lot of the classes that I like to take are more art focused or interior design focused, just so I can learn some new skills, especially working on my channel and also on my home. And since I'm still very new to being a full-time content creator, I've been loving their freelance and also their entrepreneurship classes. I recently just took a class by Holly Coley Murchison, and it's called Creating Your Dream Career, Uncover and Apply Your Creative Strengths. It was such an engaging class, and it was under an hour, but it really helped me hone into what I really want to do with this channel and also with my life. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads, and they're always launching new premium classes so that you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. This month they're doing an incredible offer, so the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click on the link below will get a free month trial of their premium membership. I'll have all those details down below for you guys so you can check it out and start exploring your creativity today. Because I'm doing 4 sections across and also 4 sections up and down, this makes it really easy to do the math. You just have to find the center point of the wall and then do the same again with each of the sections. So that's what we're gonna do going down here. And that way it's going to be a perfect square of 16 boxes. But I've also found calculators online that are super helpful, so I'll link those below as well. Ah! Okay. So I started marking these with the section and then the number. So hopefully this will fit. This has been a giant Tetris game, and honestly, no matter how much you measure it, it's not going to be perfect. So I have them all marked off here, A, B, C, D, and then 1, 2, 3. This one is A2, so it goes in the middle, right around here. Ah, and it fits! Hallelujah! Okay, try that one. Does it fit? Yay! I mean, it'll fit, it'll fit.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. So, we just need to do 3 more!
It's 4.
Oh, 4 more! All of our horizontal pieces are cut out, and now I made some spacers, and this is gonna make our life so much easier. We're just gonna prop these up starting with the bottom, and that way I don't have to measure every single time I go up. I can just use these and it's going to be perfect and leveled. These spacers were an absolute lifesaver. They are an extra step to make them, but I think it is totally worth it. I also didn't have to use liquid nails for these because they're quite small, so using just the brad nailer is fine, but I did make sure to level each one one just in case, but the spacers definitely made these horizontal pieces fly by. Levels.
There's levels to this.
What I'm learning from each house project I do is that caulking and spackling really save the day. So where each joint of the board and batten met, I added spackle to fill in the gaps as well as the brad nail holes. Along the edge of the wall and inside each one of the squares is where the caulking comes in handy. I had to go a little bit heavy-handed on the top part since there was such a big gap. This wall is definitely not straight and is a little bit wavy, but that does not stop me from trying my best to make it look as good as possible. One tip that I have for the seams along the boards on the inside is just to add a tiny bit of caulking, because once it dries onto the boards, it's harder to sand down later, so only add as much as you need. Welcome to day 2 of this project. We are going to paint and finish it up today. And honestly, this kind of went by quickly, so if you've been wanting to do this, I would definitely recommend it to you guys. So before we do anything, I'm just going to sand everything down and make sure that it is nice and smooth. Okay, so this footage is definitely cut down because I probably sanded for about an hour. My perfectionism really takes over and every little thing had to be perfect for this step, because it literally is the last thing you need to do before painting it and making it look perfect. So take your time with this step because it is totally worth it in getting the most perfect finish on the boards. Alright, everything is all taped up with the drop cloth and I am using the paint sprayer today just because I have one and I think it's gonna go by a lot quicker. I definitely learned a lot the first time I used it for the kitchen. For the color, I'm just using Atrium white, which is the same white that I'm doing around the whole entire house. I think just the board and batten is gonna make a huge statement already, so I'm going to keep it pretty basic. We're at the final stretch, so let's get to painting. This paint sprayer was worth every penny because it made painting this 10 times faster. Even with the extra time I spent to prep and cover the surfaces, it really takes away all the time that I would have had to spend on cutting in. So if you're like me and you know that you have a ton of painting projects, I think this is a great investment. This is my second time using it and so far I'm really loving the results of it. It is super easy to use and also just saves so much time. But honestly, you guys know me and you know that I love to cut in, so even without the paint sprayer, I really would have enjoyed painting it with a paintbrush as well. Right away, even with this first coat, it really made a difference in this room. It made it feel so much bigger and grander, and I truly think this is exactly what this wall needed to set it apart from the rest of the house. It definitely needs a second coat, so while that dries, Brian and I are going to dinner, and we're actually going to start vlogging for Vlogmas. So if you guys didn't know, I do have a channel with Brian. We've missed vlogging so much, and our goal is to post at least one vlog a week during the month of December. If you want to check that out, see what we do day to day, be sure to subscribe. I'll have that linked below. The accent wall is done. I am seriously so in love with it. I'm going to style it up a little bit just so you guys can get the full effect, but stay tuned for my holiday home makeover because that is when I'm going to be putting in my dining table and really styling it up for the holidays. I know the space is just going to continue to evolve and it's going to be so much fun just redecorating it over and over. Let's quickly take a look at the before. It was just a plain old wall. There was nothing really going on here, and now that we've added a board and batten wall, it just adds so much personality to such a small space. space. So now here is the after. I feel like we're in a fancy hotel lobby now. Like, look at how good this is. This is exactly what this space needed. I really want this space to feel like a dining room and not just a weird, awkward walkway. So the board of batten definitely makes such a huge difference. And I hope you guys love it too. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I can't wait to get in my dining table and then start decorating the wall. I honestly am still trying to figure out what I want to put here. Maybe some artwork. But if you guys have any ideas, please let me know in the comments below. And again, a huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to click the link down below to get a 1-month free trial of their premium membership. If you'd like to see more behind the scenes and day-to-day content, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram. I post on there every single day. And also don't forget to subscribe to the vlog channel. We're actually gonna start vlogging today, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for going through this whole journey with me. I hope this video was helpful and also motivates you guys to make a change in your own home. I will see you guys on Sunday where we get started on our bathroom makeover. Thank you so much for watching. Stay inspired and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.